the right mate.
You have to be picky, and I get that. I've had so many occasions where I've thrown myself all in too fast. I think that people do that a lot. Like, and I even told myself to back it up. Like, don't have sex with them so fast. That's a really good one. That's a good one everyone should hear. Don't have sex with them so fast. Is it like super bad if you do? No, but just be vigilant. I think people give themselves away too easily, and I don't want to like sex or slut shame anybody. Obviously, it's okay to have sex. It's okay to be a bit promiscuous. It's going to happen. Don't hold yourself to this impossibly high standard to reach. But I think it's also important to understand that, like, no, that's not the only thing that you have to offer, but it's also something that's super important. And if you want to have a relationship that has real good value to it, it shouldn't be the first thing you give up. Your relationship shouldn't be based off of, well, we fucked and the sex was so good. And then all of a sudden you're attached to each other. And most of the times you're attached to each other because the sex is good and you're not seeing any other value in the relationship, but you're blinded by
It's the chemicals.
Because it's the chemicals. Right. So I think it's really important to withhold sex, not to say that you're better than anybody or you're more virtuous than anyone, but just to make sure that there is like something worth having there to create that. Because once you have sex, I think people forget that, like, once you have sex with somebody, obviously it's more prevalent in women, but you do get attached. It is really hard not to. There's a chemical thing that happens. There's the release. All this stuff happens when you have sex with somebody. And that's why people find themselves in really shit situations, because they have sex with somebody and they mistake it for love, or they mistake it for a connection. They mistake it for something that doesn't even exist. It's not real.
So do you think that has something to do with to affect the way a female thinks if she has multiple sexual partners? Like in like basically a roster?
I don't like having multiple sex. I get attached really easy.
Like, yeah, because you're saying, they release the oxytocins or whatever like that. If they're having multiple partners in the same week, do you think something happens where like they like?
So I've had multiple partners before, obviously, but at the same time, it hasn't been an issue. However, I have to be very I have to be very unattached. If I'm going to have multiple partners, I have to be very disassociated with you. Yeah.
Your pair bonding goes out the window.
But it's something that I have to do. Like, it's not something that just happens. Like, I think for men, it tends to be something that it's not something that they have to think about. Like, for me, I have to be like, hey, if I'm fucking multiple people, I'm not trying to get to know any of you. I'm not trying to text you guys on my off time. Right. Like, I'm trying to be single, but I'm also trying to like just fuck around and scratch an itch. I don't care about what's going on in your life, really. Like, if I start to cross these lines, then there becomes like an attachment for me. I don't always think it's like a chemical thing though, because I've met women that it's really easy for them just to have friends with benefits. I have a very hard time. If I'm friends with you, if I genuinely care about you and care about what's going to happen in your life, I cannot fuck you. Because if I cross that bit, like if I care about you and if what happens to you is important to me, and all of a sudden I have sex with you, to me that creates a way more intimate bond. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I feel way more invested. So basically I can't just fuck somebody that I love. If I love you as a friend, I love you as a friend. If I cross the boundary of like having sex with you, it becomes a problem for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think women are much better at doing that. And that actually it actually proves that women body count does matter, because like what happens is when you have more sexual partners, your ability to pair bond is actually decreases because of exactly what you're saying. I have multiple partners. I can't bond with them. I try to shut myself down so I don't fucking get attached, right? So it actually becomes easier to not bond in future relationships because of that fact that you're able to just shut it down. So like, I don't know how it is for men. I think men are much more easy to pair bond because the chemicals that are released are usually from women. So if you have sex with a man and you make him come, his ability to pair bond actually skyrockets, right? And men are most likely going to come every time we have sex.
Yeah, women don't. Yeah. I can attest to that.
Yeah, but you what it is like with women, it's... Jesus.
Just saying.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it's just for you, not for me. That's
I feel like there's shots fired right now. I don't know who.
No. It is what it is.
You slept with her and you haven't made her come.
I'm just saying.
She's looking at you.
I have a heart. Like, for me, I get attached easily and I have a hard time having orgasms. There you go.
Yeah, but it's probably the ability to not pair bond, because if you look, is it the fact that like you're restricting yourself from orgasm, or is it because they're not skilled enough? Because here's the thing about women, and you know this, orgasms start here.
Yeah, no, I need a lot of mental stimulation. Yeah. So sometimes it's just if it's not it, like if I'm not clicking with you, sometimes it's not them. Sometimes if I'm just not clicking with you, I've had moments where I've just been there. I'm like, why did I even? That's also why it's not that I haven't been promiscuous. I had this conversation with somebody and they were like, wow, you are talking like you're better than everybody else. And I was like, I'm not trying to talk like I'm better than everybody else, because I've been very promiscuous before. Mm-hmm. It's not like I have a 200 body count. Like, right. I've only slept with like 30 people.
That's not bad.
No, like in that range. I'm obviously, they don't have a little black book where I keep count, but I mean, I've been promiscuous enough. I've had sex with 2 different guys within a 24-hour period before. Like I've done these things, but when I like stop and reflect on these things is the thing that I realize that I crave the emotional stimulation, and I crave like the foreplay.
Oh, I thought you meant the balls.
No, the foreplay that happens leading up to the sexual experience. Right. So if I can't click with you on an emotional level, if there's not that playfulness between us, I'm probably not. If it's like I met you, we got drunk, we had sex, I probably didn't have an orgasm. Yeah. It's just not going to be a thing.
I'm right there with you.
And it's not necessarily their lack of skill or whatever. It's just like, I'm not there for it. But like at the end of the day, that's on me. Those are always sexual experiences that I've ended that I've regretted having, where I felt bad having sex with them. Wow. And but it has nothing to do with them. It's more of a, I feel shame. Like, it's like, I didn't even like, it's like, I didn't even like this person. I didn't even connect with them. Why did I do that? It wasn't fun. It wasn't pleasurable. I just did it because in the moment, it like naturally just kind of happened.
But I think every one night stand or every meaningless connection or sex is always like that, though. You never feel good about it because it doesn't feel good.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard for me to do like that. Just friends with benefits thing. I'm really big on. And it's the older I get, the worse it gets. You know what I mean? Like for me, I don't need to have sex with multiple people. Right. If I like somebody, if I'm getting along with them, and if we're having a good time, and we start having sex, and I like the sex, and I like you, even if we're not dating, most likely I'm not sleeping with anybody else. Right. Most likely.
That's good.
Like obviously here and there might be a slip up here and there where it's like, if we're not dating and I'm sleeping with you, I might sleep with like maybe one other person in between. But it's like, for the most part, I'm sleeping with one person at a time. And it's just because emotionally, I cannot spread myself that thin. Like I can't get invested in more than one person at a time.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot. It
is a lot.
Yeah. I'm telling you, going back to it, meaningless sex is meaningless sex. That's why I don't like just hooking up with random chicks. I like being in the relationship.
Yeah, but it's easier for men to have meaningless sex because, like you said, most men will just nut every time anyway.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
But that's different, though. It's not, it's like it's satisfaction on basically like busting a nut or like visual stimulation.
So have you ever had like, you're just like, God, like this girl's hot and this and that, and you know nothing about her, and you really like, I just want to bust it.
Yes.
And you had sex with her afterwards, like, oh, why the fuck did I do
Yes.
that? Like
it's called post nut clarity. Like, why the fuck did I do this? 100%. Can you tell me that you haven't had this experience?
I had it a few times.
Where you
just a few?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's every time, but there's a few times where one night stand was kind of like waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could have been doing something else.
But like the ones, the
Is it just like a casual feeling of a waste of time, or do you feel like shame? Because I'll do it sometimes and I feel like shame. Like I'm just like, I can't believe that I just opened my body, that I just gave access to my vagine.
Well, it's because it's so much more. It's so much more important for women when it comes to sexual.
But I meet some women that like have that like, it's whatever.
Because they're fucking, how many bodies do they have?
I don't know. I don't always ask.
What is their,
I don't meet
what
people
is their
like, hi, my name's Amber. How many fucks and penises have you ridden this last year?
Yeah.
Like,
but I feel like women like that always have something about them that you can just like, there's something about their energy and something is just
they're broken in a weird way.
We're all broken in a weird way.
No, but like they're a little bit extra broken.
Yeah, like you can like you can like
do you ever find these broken women and you're just like, can I take care of you?
No, fuck,
never.
Never.
Like you can like almost like see in their like their facial expressions, their like their skin.
Yeah, their life force is gone.
Yeah, it's
fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Did you find that funny? I did. Thank you for watching WAKU Radio. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and comment below if you like us or not. And there's more clips and more videos, full episodes.
Amnesia, forgot how true it be to cook